I don't know why every time I record myself, I look pale as fuck because I'm not. I'm brown. Very tan actually because I've just been in the sun a lot and I tan easily. And though the color I was born with, it might be lighter, I am brown because I'm Hispanic and more specifically, I come from Mexican roots. Mexicans are um, can be indigenous or a mixture of indigenous and Spanish, like from Spain, or purely just Spanish, like straight up European looking. I don't know specifically for me because my family tree is not well established in that sense where like I have no knowledge of my biological father and his family because he's not in my life. But on my mother's side, her mom was indigenous. She had indigenous features. And then she married, she married my grandfather. My grandfather had some sort of Spanish background because his father was light skinned and blue eyed, and in my family, some people are light skinned and they have colored eyes, or they did at some point. So, I guess I'm mixed. I don't fucking know. Doesn't matter. I've always found it very interesting that I based my existence, or like my place in the world, was based on the color of my skin. And so because I was brown, I never felt that I was American because Americans were not white. I mean, Americans were not brown. Americans were white, blonde, and they had colored eyes, and I didn't look like that. So how the fuck was I American? But then, like, I'd hang out with people that were Mexican, like they were straight up from Mexico. And I'm like, well, I don't really fit in with them either because they think I'm white. And I'm like, I'm not white. Then what the fuck am I? If I'm not Mexican and I'm not white, then what am I? I don't know. And that was a really big dilemma for me. Where in my effort to fit in, I remember at one time, I told my mom, don't speak Spanish to me because I don't want people to hear that you speak Spanish. And I am still to this day very embarrassed that I said that to her because I couldn't be more proud to know more than one language. I studied French for like years and I only remember bonjour, je m'appelle, da 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 da, je voudrais, da 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 da. Okay, but Spanish is such an elegant language to me. Some of my favorite poets, their poems are in Spanish. You try to translate that into English and it just loses its power. And not to say that English in itself is not its own very powerful language, because it is, but that's another point. We're talking about languages at that point. I'm talking about where the fuck we come from, and the color of our skin, and our culture and all that shit. And I don't know, I've always been a fan of cultures all over the world. From a very young age, I was really drawn to Hinduism and like Indian culture and all that. I thought it was very beautiful, very colorful, and it resonated with me. And then I learned about all the people in the world and all the countries that they come from and the languages that they speak, and the color of their culture and how diverse everything is. And I'm like, god damn, like it's all very beautiful. I want to learn all of it. I want to know. I want to immerse myself in the experience of that culture. I want to better understand the people that I live with on this planet. And I can do that by learning about their culture, their customs, their languages, and all that stuff. You know, I want to know. Tell me, show me, teach me. So it baffles me. It really baffles me when we have people that cling on to the color of their skin and where they were born as their only identity. This is what I am because of X, Y, and Z. And that's all I can be. Ew. It's disgusting. What do you mean that's all you are? And then when you die, do you take the color of your skin with you? Do you take your language with you? You don't even take your fucking culture with you. Because it doesn't matter at the end. Like, people don't want to be minorities because why? You tell me why you don't want to be a minority. Why are you so scared about you disappearing? Isn't that what happens when you die? You just fucking disappear? Like, and it's an inevitable part of your existence and when you're born. So it goes that you're gonna die because that's just the order of things. Like, you see it in nature. You see it out in space, in the universe. Nothing lasts forever. Everything is subject to impermanence, change. That's the structure of the reality that we live in. And you flow with it or you resist it. I mean, resisting it is insane because it's still going to happen. With or without your approval, it's still going to happen. So the color of your skin doesn't matter. The language you speak, it doesn't matter. You know, why can't we thrive in the diversity that is humanity and life on Earth? All of the changes that it's gone through and will continue to go through until the sun explodes and destroys the planet, according to science. I remember the first time I learned that the sun was gonna grow into a red giant and like burn everything and then explode, I was excited to tell people, oh my god, did you know that the sun is gonna explode and it's gonna kill everyone? And my mom thought I was crazy. I've had a lot of conversations with people about dying. I think it's necessary to have those conversations, not in a morbid, like, that I'm like, I want to, that I'm gonna like do it, because like, no, but let's have that conversation. Why are we scared of death? Why? Because there's a loss of identity. There's a loss of who you think you are. Like, you think that you're this body, you think that you're this person, you think that this is forever. No, you're changing every day. You're changing. It's a beautiful process. Embrace it, enjoy it, because it doesn't last. Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk.